Hi everyone, Don Genova here with another Foodie Friday for Russell Books. This week I want to talk about a book that takes me back to my days when I lived in Edmonton. I used to go to a festival called Heritage Days every year where all the city's ethnicities were represented. They all had cultural booths, dancing, music, and food. And it seemed like every place had a different kind of meat on a stick, which I partook of quite gladly. And now I've discovered this book at Russell Books called Posh Kebabs, over 70 recipes for sensational skewers and chic shawarmas. And just because we're getting into bad weather doesn't mean you can't still do some outside grilling or come inside to do some skewers inside your house as well on your cooktop. And there's a few different tools that I want to talk about before we get going on the recipes. First of all, skewers. If you're doing them outside, you have these beautiful bamboo skewers, and usually you want to soak those in water ahead of time and put your food on there so that they don't burn on the grill. I like these little short ones because they have a little handle on them. And so if you're having kind of a party, you grill something on these skewers, you can just hand them up. People are just going to pick them up on that. And these are very inexpensive and easy to find as well. And finally, for things like I like to do, some fairly meaty kebabs on these, or in this case, we're going to talk about some chicken wings on here. It's handy to have these metal skewers, and it makes them, you don't have to soak them, obviously, and they come in different lengths. And it makes things very easy to turn on the grill without losing them through the grate. The other thing that you can do is you can use a cast iron fry pan to grill in, and I did that for the one of the recipes that you're going to see here. And you could also use a cast iron grill pan if you want those grill marks on it as well, which I did for the pineapple recipe. Yeah, lots of recipes from this book, and the first one I did was a chicken recipe, and it was a little bit different because it was for entire chicken wings. And in this case, I actually used 2 skewers through each wing, and that stabilizes the wings when you want to turn them over. I love grilled chicken wings, but it's kind of a pain to flip them all over. Put 6 or 7 on a long skewer and they flip over just fine. And they're spiced up with honey and marinated in yogurt and thyme and cumin, some chili powder, and some honey as well, and they're quite delicious. The next one I did, I went from poultry to seafood, tuna with wasabi mayo. And boy, this is these little tuna steaks that you can buy in the store. Cut them into cubes, put them into on a skewer, marinate them in soy sauce, brown sugar, some mirin, which is kind of like a sweet Chinese sauce, almost like a rice wine sauce, and then you coat it in sesame seeds, and the sesame seeds give it a nice crunch as well. And you mix up some mayonnaise with some wasabi. You've got a really great skewer with that. And if you want to go vegetarian, I found a recipe. It's called charred baby aubergines. Aubergines, also known as eggplant. And if you can't find mini eggplants, as the recipe calls for here, you can find those long Japanese or Chinese eggplants, and they work just fine. Cut them in half, cut them into short lengths, and you can skewer those. And those have kind of a really different flavor to them because you're adding some tomato puree, like a passata, with butter and smoked paprika, a little bit of chili flakes, and that becomes your sauce that you put on them. And you mix just some garlic into some Greek yogurt, and that's you put it on a nice pita bread or a naan bread. It's a really satisfying vegetarian dish. And finally, there are sweet kebabs, and I did griddled pineapple, and the pineapple is basically you're just grilling the pineapple, and then you're creating a sauce for it with lime juice, chili, and brown sugar, and lime zest as well. And when you grill those pineapples, they become even sweeter than they were before. And you can then serve them with a dollop of ice cream once you've got them off of the skewers. And another delicious recipe to round out this very great variety of different kebabs in Posh Kebabs. Available at a great price at Russell Books, along with many others. That's it for this week's edition of Foodie Friday. I'm Don Genova, and we'll see you next time.